Hey folks, Mizzah Tee here, back again with another video, and this one might be a little controversial, and so I want to preface this by saying these are not things that I want out of Metroid going forward. I love Metroid perfectly the way it is. I became a fan of Metroid from its gameplay style, and that continues to this day, and hopefully we get a new Metroid game soon with Metroid Prime Federation Force, and what changes they're going to make to that game. And we already know it's going to be a little bit different than what we've gotten from Metroid games in the past. So yeah, I just want to preface this by saying these are not things that I want to see happen in Metroid. This is me trying to step outside of my box and step outside of the box in general. These are things that I think will help Metroid's popularity, but not necessarily help Metroid's core game and gameplay. So I'm trying to step outside the box and offer up things that I think would help its appeal, and that may be detrimental to the core of what Metroid is. But just for sake of argument, here we go. First up, more humanoid enemies. I don't really think this will hurt Metroid at all. I would welcome it. We got a taste of that in Metroid Prime 3. And I liked it. It was good to see the Federation Force. It was good to see some more insight into the group that Samus is a part of. Because you never really got to see that in the other games, and it just helps with the overall appeal of the game, having more humanoid characters. I think I said humanoid enemies, but just humanoid characters in general, like the Federation Force, and maybe getting to know some of those characters more in depth, and giving it a little, shall I say, Halo treatment, where you still retain what's Metroid, but you get more of the world around Metroid. You get more understanding of the characters of the Federation Force, and you get a little bit more backstory on those characters and things like that. So I think that would help, and I don't think it would hurt, because we've already gotten a taste of that, like I said, in Metroid Prime 3. Getting a little bit more intimate with the humanoid characters, the human characters, the Federation Force. So yeah, so basically like what Halo does, where you're going along in a world, and you meet up with a squad. They help you for a while. They all get murked, or they all you get separated again or whatever, and you go off and do your Metroid trope, your tried and true gameplay staple of Metroid, where you're in isolated areas, and so you can still have the isolation that Metroid is known for, and a little bit break up in that with meeting up with squads of Federation fighters. And I think that would be pretty cool. That's one of the things I like about Halo. It adds character to the game, but I guess they overdo it. It can obviously change the core, like I said, the solitariness. I just made that word up. The that emptiness that you get in Metroid games, that kind of stark darkness that you get in Metroid games, if you have squads running around yelling and acting a fool like they do in like they do in Halo. But I think that would help. Again, this is about what I think would help the appeal, not necessarily what I would want. So I think a no-brainer is online multiplayer. We got online multiplayer in Metroid Prime Hunters, and and that was for a handheld game, and we haven't gotten it in the console games. It's a no-brainer. Metroid today, the Prime series at least, is a shooter. It makes sense. Even if you go third person, It's still a third-person action game, third-person shooter. So having an online multiplayer aspect of it would be great. Being able to play as the different hunters and the different pirates and whatnot would be fun. And you don't have to go too crazy in depth with the online stuff. Just give us enough to where there's the cool solo single player game that is every Metroid game, and then a little something extra to do when that's over with, or as you're going along too. You can just play and have fun in the multiplayer. So yeah, I don't think that'll affect the core gameplay mechanics of Metroid, but it definitely would add some appeal, broader appeal to the game, having online multiplayer. All right, the next one is no puzzles. Again, I don't want to keep saying this, but again, this is about broadening the appeal of Metroid with people that aren't hardcore fans. No puzzles or very light puzzles. Because if you look at Metroid from the outside, say if you're a non-hardcore Metroid fan, you saw it, you looked at it from the outside, you expect it looks like it might be a first-person shooter. It's not, and that's what I love about it, but it looks like it might be. And I think if the average player, they saw an ad where, again, you're blasting up humanoid-type characters, you're running around, you're doing multiplayer, online multiplayer, those things would all help. But I think where you might lose that casual shooter fan is showing them running around, doing a puzzle. That won't play well to most of them. They won't really understand that. Again, looking at the aesthetics of Metroid Prime series and the first-person nature of it, no puzzles. They're not used to doing puzzles in a third-person game. To some extent, third-person game, but definitely not in a first-person shooter-looking game. That would completely throw them off. And I think it's one of the things that hinders Metroid from reaching a broader audience. Again, I love Metroid the way it is, but I'm not the broader audience. I'm the hardcore fan, so that's just another thing. And last but not least, a clever and compelling marketing campaign. I jokingly said Nintendo should lie in the advertisements for Xenoblade Chronicles X. And what I meant by that was that they should, show, mostly cut scenes in the commercials for it, the advertisements for it, and don't show that possibly complicated looking arts palette at the bottom, for your different arts, the way you fight in the game, the semi not real time battling that you do in the game. Although it is real time battling, it's kind of a its own unique thing. It's it's like an automatic attack, and you timing your attacks and all that kind of stuff through your different arts at the bottom. And it seems like Nintendo did that. I remember seeing ads where you saw battles going on. You saw the character battling like you would in real time, watching the game, but the arts palette at the bottom was gone, and you didn't see whoever was playing it. You didn't see them scrolling through the arts palette as they were battling the enemies. So it looked like almost like it was just a third-person action game and not an RPG. And that's what I said Nintendo should do before they did that, and it seemed like it worked because I've seen a lot of people. I've talked to a few people that would never play a game like Xenoblade Chronicles X, talking about how it looked cool, and a lot of people have bought the game that aren't traditionally into RPGs. So that seemed to work well for Nintendo. And like I said, I jokingly said lie because it's not really lying. It's just clever marketing, and that's what they're going to need for the next Metroid. They're going to have to reintroduce Metroid to the fans, to not only the fans but to the broader gaming audience. and do that with really cool action CGI. Oh my God, did I say that? Yeah, CGI cutscenes. Because like I said, Metroid has the appeal of a first-person shooter, but it obviously is so much more. It's more of a first-person adventure game. But you can play up that shooter, first-person shooter elements. And if the game is gorgeous, which I think it will be, you have the beautiful graphics combined with the first-person shooter nature of it, with the unique look of Metroid, and just really clever marketing and good use of CGI. Like I said, CGI cutscenes, or even live action stuff. There was some really good live action commercials, especially in like Japan. I think they had some really cool ones. But I think the ones for what was it, Metroid Other M, were actually pretty cool too. And Metroid Other M was trying to be that all-encompassing, kind of appealing to a broader audience kind of Metroid game. Didn't really work. I have my issues with the game, as others do. So, like I said, I think marketing is also a huge part of it, and you'll be able to display those other things I was talking about in this video. You can display that in the commercial. You can show people, there's online multiplayer. You can show people the humanoid characters in this advertising. You can show, that squad-based, almost Halo-like stuff in the advertising.
I left Adam's command and set out on my path as a solitary bounty hunter.
To get a broader appeal for the game, to get a larger audience to take a look at Metroid games that may have not before. And you just put all that stuff together, and I think you'll get a broader, appealing Metroid. And again, I love Metroid the way it is. Love the Prime series. I love the first-person adventure and puzzle solving and all that stuff that comes along with Metroid. But this isn't about me. This is about the broader audience and how to make sure we don't have to wait 10 years for a Metroid game because it sells well and Nintendo will want to make more. And I think they can evolve the gameplay. Not talking about the stuff I was talking about in this video, but they can evolve the gameplay, add in the stuff that I was talking about in this video, and not destroy the core of what Metroid is, but destroy the notion to a lot of non-fans of Metroid to what Metroid is. Nintendo was going to have to destroy Metroid in that way. So a little bombastic in the title, but I think it gets my point across, is that in order for Metroid to have a broad mass appeal, like I think it should, it's gonna probably have to do some of the things I mentioned in this video, and in turn kind of destroy the mold and break out. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Metroid should do any of this stuff? Is any of this stuff sacrilegious to you? Is Metroid Prime and whatever iteration of Metroid we're gonna get next, is it fine the way it is? Let me know. I really want to hear what you guys think about that. I love Metroid the way it is, but for it to reach a broader audience, it's probably gonna have to make me mad a little bit, or make me a little sadder, because it's gonna have to take away some things or tweak some things that I like to reach a broader audience. I want Metroid to be around, so honestly, whatever they have to do, as long as the game doesn't suck, I'm down for, because I just want to keep seeing Metroid games. So, alright, that's it for this video, and I'll see you fools next time. Peace.
Concentrate fire in a single location and freeze that thing! And Samus, you attack the frozen spot! Now, use your quick target!
Samus, looks like I'm gonna need to ask for your cooperation on this mission.
My response was to become increasingly bitter.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools.